Today we're going to be taking Otis to watch a band for the first time. We're going to a very special place. Some of you may have clocked it, those that watch the vlog a little bit more carefully. You may have clocked it in a previous vlog. It's a super little special hole in the wall that we found in central Buriram. And even though Otis is only 8, they do allow kids. And apparently it's a 60s or 90s, between 60s and 90s band that are playing today. We don't live in the city centre, and so when we do go in to do the visa or the work permit, we'll stay overnight and we'll make a bit of fun of it.
Are you excited for the first time? Hugo is sick at the moment, and my sister take care of him here, so we take Otis to the city.
Unlike in previous years, they usually message us when the visa is ready. That hasn't happened this time, and they've been a little bit uncontactable. So we're actually just kind of going and hoping that the visa is ready. So it's amazing in Thailand how even a place like Buriram in Isan can feel like a bit of a holiday, you know. Here we are by the water. We did pick up the visa already, and everything is sorted. I'm going to be talking a little bit about insecurities as a foreigner here in a second. The visa, as I already mentioned, is one of them. But also we took Otis to like a jungle, I don't know what you would call it, it's like a jungle gym thing. But what was interesting is you could go up really high and they'll strap you in, and you can go over this kind of obstacle course, and it really helped get Otis out of his comfort zone a little bit. Otis is quite careful. I taught him to be very careful. As they're young, like obviously I don't want them like banging their heads or doing crazy stuff, but it also I think pushed him over the edge to be a little bit too careful sometimes, and so to do something out of his comfort zone like that is pretty cool. Also, it occurred to me that price wise, if you're down in Phuket, the price will probably be about 3 or 4 times higher to go into something like that. It was like 180 baht, so it costs next to nothing, and obviously I joined as well. I don't think he would have done it on his own. He kind of needed me to be there with him as well, but for the price, everybody can join in, you know. So as I mentioned, I wanted to talk a little bit about insecurities. The more I've been on YouTube and the more I've read comments, and especially from those that live here, it is very apparent to me that there is a lot of insecurities of living in Thailand. The visa is one thing, but I will say a lot of the insecurities around the visa are often just kind of fearful projections. If you are following all the rules, you have the cash in the bank, you've filled in the paperwork correctly, everything's above board, really you don't have anything to worry about at all. I guess it's only when the law is applied unequally or randomly sometimes where that becomes a bit of a question mark, and I think there's a lot of sensational headlines as well that mean that some people get a bit worried about what might happen, you know, things being changed up in immigration, crackdown here, new rule there. So I think that is a big part of the insecurity. The other insecurity that comes up a lot from foreigners living in Thailand is the inability to own land. Some people have to sign up superficies agreements and ufostructs, I think that's the pronunciation, ufostruct. So these are contracts to kind of tie up land, so there's insecurities there. And I think kind of the best way to look at this after all these years here in Thailand and talking about Thailand so much is that you just get comfortable with the insecurity. We actually do have a plan B if things weren't to work out in Thailand. Originally we planned to go to Cambodia as our plan B. Of course, it's not always nice to have a plan B. Nobody wants to do the plan B, that's why you have a plan B. You want to do your plan A, right? But our plan B, if for some reason we couldn't stay in Thailand, and this is a very kind of edge case in my opinion, we would have gone to Cambodia, but that has since changed, and we would probably go to Laos now. So there you go. In a very rare circumstance that happens, that's what we would think to do. So if you are planning a trip to Thailand or anywhere else in the world for that matter, I think that today's partners on this video will come in very useful for you. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Sali's eSIM. So an eSIM is actually a digital SIM card that's built into your phone. It saves you the hassle of having to buy a new SIM card in every location that you go to and change that SIM card every time that you land. It also allows you to save money on expensive roaming fees, and it can keep you connected to the internet even when there's no Wi-Fi. It works in over 200 countries, and you can set it up before you travel so that as soon as you land, you're automatically connected. We've all been there where we don't have a local SIM card and we don't have access to Wi-Fi and we cannot contact a friend or we cannot get a ride somewhere. Sailie's eSIM makes sure that that never happens to you. So if you are traveling and you want a simple, reliable way to stay connected, I would skip the local SIM cards and go for Sailie's eSIM. What's more is you can now get 15% off Sailie's data plans with my code word BAMBOO at checkout. Use the QR code here on screen or check out the links in the pinned comment and the description below. Insecurities also come in the forms of health, of course. This has to be dealt with on a personal level. I've got a lot of older subscribers that health insurance becomes more of a factor for them than, say, a younger person. Also, as somebody that has a work permit here, I have access to the government healthcare, which puts my situation a little bit different also. Now, quite recently, I did decide to cancel my health insurance here, and that's because I'd heard from a number of subscribers that had claims delayed or disputed or not paid. And this kind of affected my trust in the way these policies were managed, and it made me take a little bit of a deeper look at the policy that I had. I ended up putting it through ChatGPT as well and working out some scenarios, say I needed a serious operation, to just how much that insurance would cover me. And I found out that the coverage wasn't actually that great for the premium that I was paying every year. And I would probably only use a government hospital because the private hospitals are quite far from us, and we actually have some pretty good government hospitals in good range to where we live. And so when I looked at what I would outlay, I actually found it better to self-insure, at least for now, until I come across a better policy. And that involves just keeping liquidity in the bank. I know many subscribers that actually self-insure this way simply because they don't trust the insurance companies. When you do start to dig into these policies, sometimes you also find that certain things are capped, certain things are not covered, there are certain exclusions. It's actually a minefield, guys. If you're anything like me and you've taken a long time looking through all these different policies and you can't make heads or tails of them, it's probably because that's the way they want it to be. This may change if I can come across a good insurer that makes sense for me at this age in my particular circumstances, then I would change up. And obviously I don't recommend this for anybody else. You've got to do you've got to work out what is the best case for you. But as I've said, I think the best way to deal with this is to get comfortable with the insecurities. No matter where you are, by the way, you could be insecure that you're not going to be able to pay your rent in your home country, and you may get evicted and kicked out, and you may be homeless and insecure about not keeping your job due to AI taking everybody's jobs in the coming years. All of us, if we allow ourselves to be overcome with fear and insecurity, are worse off for that. Personally, I think, and I know that many of my subscribers would agree, that you've got to live life going beyond the fear and the insecurities of the way things might turn out, and just have a plan in place, a plan B, a plan C, to mitigate any potential issues that you might have along the way in Thailand and otherwise. Like, nobody is escaping this just because you have the NHS there at hand, just because you can own your house, even though in many cases even owning your house requires that you still pay tax to the government, and if you cannot pay that tax, the house can be repossessed, of course. So there's insecurity. Life comes with insecurity. Being born comes with insecurity, and that is no different from Thailand. I don't think it's a reason to say, well, I'm not going to live here, unless you can't sustain yourself financially and you can't legally fulfill all of the requirements to live here. I know that many of the long-term expats that subscribe to this channel can fulfill those requirements rather easily, and it's not much of a headache to them. It's just something that is a fact of life. They have to do the 90-day report, they have to do their visa, they have to get their health insurance, they have to usually end up sacrificing the land in somebody else's name and go by a contract and whatnot. So all of these things are part of life here, and I think that the benefits outweigh the downsides. On the topic of land, I've talked before about land. Like, I actually see the way we do it as any land that is bought is just a gift for the children. Your house that you built is a gift for the children. It's not something that you classify as, oh, that's my asset long term here. Remember, houses are very cheap here in Thailand, and it's one of the reasons why we didn't build like a much bigger house. There is something to be said by not building a giant mansion and just building something quite modest, because maybe you may not have it forever. So don't put all your eggs in one basket, of course. And now for the rest of this trip, we're about to go now to this secret place. I call it our secret place because it is kind of hidden in a residential area, and Otis is going to watch his first band, so I'm quite excited about that. And so some followers of the channel will remember this from a previous vlog, but this is the place that we come. The weird thing about it is it's just nestled in a normal residential street here, so you won't even know it's here. But what you actually have on one side is this sushi place, which is real authentic sushi. It is some of the best I think I've had in Thailand. And also there's a secret door just down there where you go through and watch a band, where we're going to be taking you in a second. But let's just take you inside so you can see that it's such a small place, but so it fills up really easily. But there's a reason that it fills up really easily, because it's super good. The fun thing about the place as well is you can watch everything being made right in front of you here. So you got the fresh salmon, tuna, octopus. You got shrimp here as well. Right, you go first, Tiss. I'm not going first. Too scary for me. I heard about a ghost. Right, open that door. Knock, knock, knock first. 1, 2, 3. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, 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 knock. Hey! Okay, so as you come in through the door here, we have this pretty cool spot. The fact that it's kind of secret as well is extra special. And then through here you also have another bar with a number of draft selection, and it's quite a well-stocked bar as well for those that are interested. They also have Hollander, and then there's another German beer. I can't think of the name right now of it, but it's apparently one of the oldest beers in the world. And then a selection of ciders in here for people that are interested. I think what's even more surprising is that it's situated in Buriram, of all places. People always say there's nothing in these, like Isan provinces, but I think that's very wrong. There's a lot. If you start to scratch the surface, you can usually find a lot of cool stuff. So extra cool place, it's called Necromantics. So if you are in Thailand, then check out Necromantics in town. I don't think you'll be disappointed with the place.